Welcome to Gridiron Ring, a sports talk show covering football and professional wrestling. I'm your host, the Encyclopedia of Sports, Coolhand Luke 96, and welcome to my NFL Super Bowl 53 prediction video. Hopefully you all enjoy. If you do, hit the thumbs up button. 2 weeks ago now, in the conference championship games on Conference Championship Sunday, we had the NFC Championship game and then the AFC Championship game later on in the day, and thank you to everybody who tuned in and watched my live reactions of both of those games. But record-wise for myself, I went 0-2 during those two games. I picked the Saints and I picked the Chiefs, and they both lost. So overall record now on the season heading into the Super Bowl this upcoming Sunday is 120, 93, and 2. And then if you guys didn't know, in college football this past year, overall, the entire season, I went 257 and 137 record-wise for college football, 120, 93, and 2, as I said, for the NFL heading into Super Bowl 53 on Sunday. But 2 weeks ago, the LA Rams defeated the New Orleans Saints 26-23 in overtime on a game-winning Greg Zuerlein 57-yard field goal. And then the Patriots also won in overtime on the road against the Kansas City Chiefs 37-31 in overtime, as I said, on a game-winning Rex Burkhead touchdown. And this was actually the first time ever in NFL history where both conference championship games went to overtime. So congratulations to the Los Angeles Rams and New England Patriots on winning the NFC and AFC respectively. They'll play each other this upcoming Sunday in Atlanta, Georgia in Super Bowl 53. But we also had the Pro Bowl in the meantime. That was last week. The AFC defeated the NFC in the 2019 NFL Pro Bowl by a score of 26-7. So that was last Sunday. Last Sunday was the 28th, I believe, of January. And we also had the Royal Rumble that day. So I was live right here on YouTube doing live reactions, play-by-play of that. So if you tuned in and watched those, thank you once again. So now I'll get into my thoughts and opinions, my predictions for this Sunday's Super Bowl. Super Bowl 53, as I said, this upcoming Sunday, February 3rd, 2019, Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia. The Patriots, they're actually playing a familiar opponent once again in the Super Bowl. They had a Super Bowl 39 rematch last year in Super Bowl 52 versus the Philadelphia Eagles. And the Eagles actually got revenge because the Patriots won the first time around. Now a Super Bowl 36 rematch where some people say this current Patriot dynasty began. A Super Bowl 36 rematch versus the Rams on Sunday, except this time around it's the New England Patriots versus the Los Angeles Rams, not the St. Louis Rams. The Rams actually moved back to LA in 2016 after a 20-year run in the Gateway City. So I'm also going to take a step back here to Super Bowl 36 before I get into the upcoming game on Sunday. That game, the 2001 season, 9/11 had just happened at the beginning of the year. The Patriots actually went 11-5 that season, and the Rams actually went 14-2. Now this year, the 2018 campaign, the Patriots also went 11-5, so a little weird if you ask me on that. But the one last victory, they went 13-3, but they still did enough. Both teams still did enough to get to the Super Bowl once again to play each other. But what's really weird for me, Coolhand Luke 96, if you ask myself, with the Super Bowl taking place obviously in the next calendar year, as it normally does, it's been 17 years since February of 2002, and Super Bowl 36 was actually the first Super Bowl played in February because with 9/11 they backed the schedule up just a tad. So what's weird for myself with the Super Bowl, obviously, like I said, being in the next calendar year, it's been 17 years since February of 2002 up until now. Well, come Sunday, it's technically still January. At the time of this recording, the Patriots are actually a 2.5-point favorite at this point in time as well. But come Sunday, February of 2019, 17 years. It's going to be 17 years to the exact day, February 3rd, 2019, that the Patriots and Rams are meeting in the Super Bowl once again. The Rams actually scored 17 points in that game before losing on a game-winning Adam Vinatieri field goal. That was also played down in New Orleans at the Superdome, a place where the Rams had to play this year twice, I might add. They lost back in November, but got revenge, as the Eagles did on the Patriots last year in the Super Bowl. But the Rams got revenge on the Saints 2 weeks ago in the NFC title game, as I said a moment ago, in order to get to the Super Bowl. As I said, they defeated the Saints on a game-winning field goal as well. Greg Zuerlein, 57-yarder, so a little weird if you ask me, but interesting at the same time. So aside from all that, a whole lot really hasn't changed for the New England Patriots, except adding 5 Super Bowls, the first one of those 5 in Super Bowl 36 since that game was played. So now the Patriots are tied with the Dallas Cowboys and San Francisco 49ers with the second most Super Bowl titles ever with 5. But New England, with a win on Sunday, they would tie the Pittsburgh Steelers with the most Super Bowl titles of all time with 6. As I said, not a lot has changed in Foxborough. Bill Belichick is still the head coach of the New England Patriots, and Tom Brady is still the starting quarterback for the New England Patriots. Now, yeah, other players, have come and gone, but the Patriots have still found ways to win. I'm not going to really get into that, but they've found ways to win whoever is on the respective team year in and year out. And, that's by running the football and playing good defense, typical Bill Belichick football. There's nothing wrong with that. All anybody ever remembers is if you win. So that's all that really counts, all that really matters, as I said. Yeah, Tom Brady's had some good games, throughout the years that, obviously led to great seasons, including those 5 Super Bowls, and I'll get to those here in a second, with 4 Super Bowl MVPs to his credit as well. But Brady, he's in a league of his own. He's a top 5 quarterback of all time, if not the best. I could go on and on about that. That's a discussion for another day. So then you really can't include him in that, but at the same time you have to, because he is the starting quarterback for the Patriots ever since Drew Bledsoe went down with an injury after getting drafted. Brady, this is after getting drafted in the 6th round with the 199th pick back in the 2000 NFL draft out of the University of Michigan, after he played his college ball for the Wolverines up in Ann Arbor. So you have to give credit where credit is due, as I say all the time, when it comes down to it. When it comes down to the wire, the Patriots, they always find a way to win, and that's why it always seems like they're playing in the goddamn Super Bowl as well, year in and year out. They're actually playing in their 3rd straight this Sunday versus the Rams. Brady is actually playing in his 9th Super Bowl on Sunday. He has a 5-3 record up to this point. The 3 losses, he lost to the Giants twice, Super Bowl 42 and then 46, and then they lost the Eagles, as I said earlier, last year. So those are the losses, in case you forgot. And Bill Belichick then is actually coaching in his 12th Super Bowl all time. He was actually an assistant with the New England Patriots when they lost the Packers in Super Bowl 31. And then he was actually the defensive coordinator for the New York Football Giants back in the 1980s. And they won those games, so there's 2 more rings for him, plus the 5 that he has right now as the head coach with the Patriots. So he has 7 Super Bowl rings, Bill Belichick does. And that's, really hard to believe, to be honest with you. But, so, Belichick, the loss to the Packers, the 2 with the Giants, that's 3 total. You add the 3 that they won in 4 years, the Patriots, this is Super Bowl 36 versus the Rams, 38 versus the Panthers, and then 39 versus the Eagles, you get 6. Then 42 and 46, the 2 games that they lost to the New York Football Giants, that's 8. Then 49 they won versus Seattle Seahawks. 51 then 2 years ago, they defeated the Atlanta Falcons. Then last year they lost to the Philadelphia Eagles, as I said, I don't know how many times now today. Then this Sunday's game versus the LA Rams. So you add all of that up, that'll make 12 Super Bowls for Bill Belichick that he has coached in, either as the head coach or as an assistant for the Patriots or for another team. As I said, he was the defensive coordinator for the Giants back in the 80s when they had Lawrence Taylor there right in the middle of the defense. But so you got to give credit where credit is due. That is a great stat to be a part of. I believe it's percentage-wise a little over 20% of the Super Bowls that Bill Belichick has actually coached in. So 12 come Sunday of the 53, whatever that is percentage-wise. I believe it's about 20%, if I'm not mistaken. Could be a little less, could be a little bit more. Not really getting into math today. I want to stay on track here with football, but anyways, a great stat to be a part of. I mean, hell, I think anybody for this matter would love to have played or coached in 9 plus, 12 plus Super Bowls with Brady and Belichick. And Brady and Belichick, 9 combined, that's the most of all time as well. But if you go back, to the ones that they've won, like I said, they've won 5. Forget about the ones that they've lost for right now. They won Super Bowl 36 on a game-winning Adam Vinatieri field goal versus the Rams in New Orleans. 38, they won on a game-winning Adam Vinatieri field goal once again down in Houston versus the Panthers. Super Bowl 39, they won by 3 points versus the Philadelphia Eagles. 49, as I said, they defeated the Seattle Seahawks. But the Seahawks, they should have run it there with Marshawn Lynch. They decided to throw from the 1-yard line. It was intercepted by Malcolm Butler. He's still currently playing for the Tennessee Titans, and former Patriot Mike Vrabel, who has caught a couple touchdowns as a linebacker lined up as a fullback in the Super Bowl. Then 51, the Falcons blew a 28-3 lead, as we all remember that a couple years ago. So there's your 5 wins. But really, they could have all gone the other way, but obviously they didn't. But you add those 3 losses that they have as well under Belichick, with him being the head coach of the Patriots, the 2 versus the Giants, and the 1 versus the Eagles last year. And the Patriots also then have 2 other losses in the Super Bowl. Some people know this, some people don't, but now you do if you didn't. They lost to the Bears back in 85, and then the Packers in Super Bowl 31. So 5-5 overall record-wise for the Patriots in the Super Bowl. So they lose on Sunday. They're below 500 with Super Bowl appearances, with 11 now on Sunday in franchise history. So they've been this close to never, ever winning a Super Bowl before, as I said, heading into their 11th in franchise history on Sunday. I mean, lucky or not, the Patriots still have 5 Super Bowl titles. So now I'm going to move on to the Los Angeles Rams. They're led by 33-year-old Sean McVay, who would have only been 16 years old when Brady won his first Super Bowl back in 36 versus the team that he now coaches, the Rams. And they're also led, the Rams are, by a California native at quarterback, the number 1 overall pick back in 2016. That's Jared Goff. So 2 California kids at quarterback on Sunday for the Rams and Patriots, both obviously drafted, but one was drafted with the top pick, and then Brady, one of the last picks in the 2000 NFL draft. And as I said a little bit ago, in my opinion, definitely a top 5 quarterback of all time. Arguably could be the greatest, but like I said, that is a discussion for another day. The Rams also have Todd Gurley at running back, along with C.J. Anderson, who he's been playing a little bit better the past few games, in my opinion, but everybody has their own opinion. I mean, Todd Gurley's still a damn good running back, but C.J. Anderson, he has played in the Super Bowl before. Super Bowl 50 with the Denver Broncos just a couple years ago. So he knows how big this game is. He knows what it's going to take, as do all the players and coaches, because technically it's the next game on the schedule, but it's also the last game of the season. Now, I think this game will be won in the trenches, as they say. I think in order to win on Sunday, it's going to come down to up front, the Patriot offensive line versus the Rams defensive line, and vice versa, Rams O-line versus the Pats D-line. Because we all know, in order to win, obviously you got to be able, in my opinion, you got to be able to run the football and play good defense, but you got to be able to protect your quarterback and get after the opposing quarterback. So the Rams are going to try to get after Brady, and vice versa. The Patriots are going to try to get after Goff. But it's going to come down to the running game, I believe. Sony Michel, James White, and Rex Burkhead going up against the big matchup, the key matchup to keep an eye out for. Sony Michel, James White, and Rex Burkhead going up against the Ram defensive line. You got Ndamukong Suh, Aaron Donald, Dante Fowler Jr., and Michael Brockers. Todd Gurley and C.J. Anderson going up against the Patriot defense as well. And then whoever, in my opinion, doesn't turn the ball over late in the fourth quarter, under 8-10 minutes to play. I think special teams will be key as well. Maybe it'll come down to the return game. Maybe we'll see a kickoff or a punt return for a touchdown on Sunday. But with as good as kickers as both teams have, with Greg Zuerlein and Stephen Gostkowski, I think we're going to see another game-winning field goal in another Patriots-Rams Super Bowl. I'm going to say 20-17 once again. That was the score 17 years ago. So I'm going to say 20-17 once again, but I think the LA Rams will win this time around over the New England Patriots to win Super Bowl 53, to win their first Super Bowl in 20 years since winning their last by a yard versus Steve Air McNair and Eddie George back in Super Bowl 34. That was also in Atlanta. So it's been 20 years since the Rams won. That was played in Atlanta. This game is being played in Atlanta. And Jeff Fisher was actually the head coach of the Titans at that point in time. He then took the Ram job after getting fired by Tennessee. He moved them back to LA as well. Well, he was the head coach when the Rams moved back. He didn't really move them. The organization just moved. But you got to give Jeff Fisher some credit. He really put this team together from the start. But then Sean McVay obviously came in. He's in his second year now, and he's done some things, and he's been the one who's been able to get the Rams back to the promised land. So the Rams are playing the Patriots on Sunday in Super Bowl 53, and I'm picking the Rams, as I said, 20-17 on a game-winning Greg Zuerlein field goal once again to defeat New England. Now, Maroon 5 is playing the Pepsi halftime show with Travis Scott and Big Boy, so that should be fun to watch. But WWE is also bringing back halftime heat for the first time in 20 years. So as I said, the Rams won Super Bowl 20 years ago versus the Titans. That game was played in Atlanta. WWE is bringing back halftime heat for the first time in 20 years. The Rams won the Super Bowl. As I said, the Rams are playing in the Super Bowl this year once again. So I'm just throwing that out there. I mean, coincidence or not, but I'm going to try to watch both during halftime. I'm going to try to watch the Maroon 5 halftime show and then watch WWE halftime heat because I will be live right here on YouTube doing live reactions, play-by-play of Super Bowl 53, so hopefully everybody tunes in and watches that. So I'll try to do some live reactions of the halftime show and of halftime heat too, but we're going to see either way, whether I watch it or not. I might watch it later on. We're going to see a 6-man tag team match down in NXT at halftime heat between Aleister Black, Ricochet, and Velveteen Dream, who actually just won the NXT North American Championship last night during the NXT TV tapings. They're facing off. Black, Ricochet, and Dream are versus Tommaso Ciampa, Johnny Gargano, and Adam Cole. And that is reportedly going to be inside an empty WWE Performance Center match. So that should be fun and exciting as well. I've also heard that just some friends and family of the 6 superstars will be in attendance. So we'll have to see how that goes. But, I mean, let me know in the comments below what you guys think I should watch during halftime. Should I watch Maroon 5? Should I watch WWE Halftime Heat? I wonder if Brazzers is going to have another halftime show like they normally do. But anyways, I'm going to pick the LA Rams to defeat the New England Patriots on Sunday and win Super Bowl 53. Who you guys got? Let me also know down in the comment section below. And like I said, by the way, I'll be on YouTube here. I'll be live right here on YouTube doing live reactions, play-by-play of Super Bowl 53 with the halftime show, and more than likely halftime heat as well. Like I said, I'm going to try to watch both of those, but thanks for watching. Thanks for listening here today. Hope to see everybody on Sunday for Super Bowl 53. Once again, thanks for watching. A like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links are in the description below.